Hey everyone, I'm going to read you the first article in our Focus on Vocabulary book, and let's look at what it says up here. This passage introduces the concept of happiness and some research on this idea. As you read, pay special attention to the target vocabulary words in bold. Why are you happy? Why are you happy? And we see a picture of some happy people. Now let's see what it says. All right, now this little number right here indicates that this is the first paragraph, second paragraph, and so on. Are you happy? Are you happy? It is a simple question, one that you can instinctively answer with an easy yes or no. However, for some obscure reason, the question, what is happiness, is more difficult to answer. So, too, is the question that follows. How do we achieve it? Well, defining happiness is not quite as simple as it might seem. Go into any mall these days, and you'll find many people shopping at a frantic pace, believing that happiness is the thrill of buying a new pair of shoes or the latest high-tech device. Indeed, the idea of happiness has been a topic of much thought and discussion within the fields of philosophy, religion, and science for the past 2,500 years. A follower of Confucius, the famous Chinese philosopher, would say that happiness is the joy obtained from learning about humanity through social relationships and good deeds. Those good deeds, however, do not include going to the grocery store because your mother has told you to, or treating yourself to a steak at a restaurant after a hard day's work. In fact, a Buddhist would say that happiness is the reverse of consumerism, because happiness consists of self-discipline and a life without longing. In this case, longing meaning desire. Another perspective comes from scientists who have demonstrated that 50% of happiness is a result of the genes we inherit from our parents rather than the genes we purchase at the mall. So who's right? The shopper, the philosopher, the monk, or the scientist? Perhaps the answer lies in the field of psychology, or more specifically, positive psychology. In 1998, Martin Seligman, a psychologist at the University of Pennsylvania, gave a speech at the American Psychological Association in which he said that rather than devoting attention to unhappiness, psychology needed to change direction and focus instead on people for whom everything was going well. He said psychologists had a reasonably good understanding of depression, but they knew almost nothing about the mysteries of a happy life. He argued that if psychologists could isolate what those were, then people might be able to learn how to make themselves more satisfied with and cheerful about their lives. This was the beginning of positive psychology. Since then, research on happiness has come up with some astonishing facts. If we go back to the mall, shopping can indeed be a source of happiness, but it is significantly less so once your basic needs have been met. The best kind of retail therapy or shopping therapy is to shop for someone else. This is consistent with the Chinese teachings of 2,500 years ago that assert that happiness lies in acting within social networks rather than for our individual benefit only. Again, current research agrees. In 2002, a University of Illinois study found that students with the highest levels of happiness and the fewest signs of depression were those with strong friendship and family networks. Religion facilitates happiness in a similar manner. Once again, a review of a large number of research studies on the links between religion and happiness has concluded that, let's flip the page, has concluded that there is a positive correlation between religious commitment and higher levels of perceived well-being and self-esteem. And in this case, a correlation basically just means a connection. Grafting modern research onto Confucian philosophy, we can go back to our original question and say that happiness is a very personal combination of genetics, actions, and beliefs. In the future, it may become a standard practice for therapists to suggest interventions that boost happiness levels, including thanking people, writing letters to old friends, and hanging out with family. Who knew that learning to feel good could feel so good? And we have a word count here, 593 words, and we have some questions on reading comprehension. It says respond to the questions in writing. Base your responses on the reading and your own personal experiences. Number 1, what does Confucianism say is the source of happiness? Number 2, how much of our happiness may be the result of our genetic makeup? Number 3, how did Martin Seligman change the way the field of psychology thinks about human happiness? Number 4, the passage talks about grafting modern research onto Confucian philosophy. What does this mean? Number 5, when was the last time you used shopping to make yourself happy? Did it work? And number 6, why do you think strong friendships play such an important role in our happiness? Let's think about that. And then we will go on to word meaning. All right, I hope you found this useful, and we'll see you in class. Bye-bye.